introduce Hasnan Yasin. Hasnan is a PhD student in the Faculty of Education at Universitas Islam Internasional Indonesia, with expertise and interest in ESL, education, statistics, educational assessment, and large-scale assessment. He holds a bachelor's and a master's degree in English education and has published several research papers. He's now working on developing an English test for the tourism and hospitality sector for his doctoral research. So, Hasnan, if you're ready to begin, I'm going to ask you to share your screen, and I'll give you a 5-minute warning when you've 5 minutes left.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So let me... Can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Is it audible? Okay. Now let me share my screen. Here. Is my screen now visible?
Yes. Yeah, we can see that fine. No. Okay.
Very much for the introductions. So I'll just get down to the presentations. So I'm going to present about my working in progress. This is actually part of my research outside of my dissertation, and this is still going on. So we are planning on still doing it until July, but we already have some samples. So I would like to share the findings of those few samples we have found. These are the structure of my presentations. Have with a little bit of backgrounds and a little bit of literature review and the methods I use, and also some findings we've been found so far, and also a little bit of conclusions. So I'll start with a little bit of why this study is conducted. Well, for the record, I'm from Indonesia, and I think it's good to know to understand that this context may be subjective to my experience and also experience of Indonesian. I mean, in the context of Indonesia, but I think in some way, if the conditions are similar, it can be generalized. So the first reasons why is that because testing, if we see, especially in the classroom settings, is often overlooked compared to other aspects of education. For example, like material development or lesson plans and other, or teaching even. Testing is often neglected sometimes in the classroom settings. And other than that, because I've been teacher for quite some time, for over 5 years, and I experienced and I saw many teachers actually struggle to develop proper tests, especially when it comes to receptive skills, receptive skills tests like reading and listening. It's difficult for them to produce the good questions, and also most of the times they will rely on questions that are already there on the book. So even when they have to make some questions, they would probably more focus on producing a grammar test, because this English is a second language, and it's taught in schools in Indonesia. But other than that, because of the materials are limited, materials used, especially for testings, are very limited. Teachers cannot really find a proper or maybe produced materials for testings, especially when it comes to materials for reading or listening. So again, they tend to go back to tests that are already on the book. And I think it's been mentioned that when the teacher used questions or tests that are already on the book, I think there's going to be a different uh, result of the test, because it can weaken the test ability to measure the true reading skills. And then also when they try to, and they don't probably even try to produce an, let's say, materials or audio materials for the listening test, because it's going to cost a lot. They need to hire a particular uh, voice actor to produce the sounds. Even though maybe recently we admit that there's this global English that admits different varieties of English, but I think when it comes to learning English, the very standard English is still used, especially in the materials of the listening one. So AI is one of the solutions, I think. Since ChatGPT was released in 2022, back then, I think AI, especially generated AI, has been popular everywhere, including in Indonesia itself. But I think there are few teachers are aware of how this technology can be used to enhance test developing, especially in their class. So what this study is going to do is to try to offer perspectives on how we develop a test using generative AI. Uh, so in doing so, we're going to try to do that and evaluate the tests that are generated by AI using Rasch Model to see the psychometric properties of the test generated by AI. And if you've seen, I think research on AI has been emerging more and more since yeah, generative AI becomes very popular. Uh, and these are some examples of research. I think these are also on Dr. Alina's website. Uh, all those are resources for, especially for reading test and also listening test. Um, there are many researchers that try to produce and enhance their test productions using AI. So for this study, this is a non-experimental, again, looking into psychometric properties of the generated AI. And this is going to be tested in high schools in Indonesia with stratified random sampling, choosing some schools, some available schools, and then our target is 500 students, more than 500 students, but we currently have 153, and that's what I've been analyzing here, and that's the result that I'm going to present it today. And these are the AI that I use to generate the test, the ChatGPT 4.0, and for the listening one, we exports or we um, uh, the script into audio using 11 labs, and we try to analyze the psychometric properties using WinStab. For the test generations, we use the methods and also steps that are given very details by Dr. Olina. It's actually also on her websites. It's a very detailed way to how to generate reading and listening tests there, from generating the text and also the script for the listening, and some suggestion on what kind of AI you can use to export your transcript into the audio. So of course, there are many things we consider when generating this AI. We consider the CFR levels and also the English varieties and also the genre based on the capaian pembelajaran. So this is actually a document published by the Ministry of Education of Indonesia. It's basically learning outcomes expected uh, for students in Indonesian schools. And the level of languages expected by the ministry is for high schools B1 to B2. So this test is also generated based on those criteria. Other than that, when it comes to the listening tests, we try to produce two models of audio, the monologue one and the conversational one. And all of these are generated first using ChatGPT. So the scripts are generated by ChatGPT and then exported into audio, converted into audio using 11 Labs. And of course, there's some auto tunings there to make sure that spoken features are included on the script. And I think it ends up with quite good audio, a very standard audio. And then after that, from those script and text, we generate 100 items, 54 readings and 54 listenings. And then those items are also evaluated by the researchers. We don't evaluate this with more than, we don't share it and try to ask others to evaluate the test, because we want to genuinely see the psychometric properties of the item generation by the ChatGPT itself. So it could be one other options to do to produce the more quality items. And then after that, we administer the test to the students. So far, two schools are participating, and we've been gaining 153 students. So about the models that I use to analyze the data is called the Rasch Model, especially for the dichotomous one, because the items that I generated was in form of multiple choice questions. So yeah, as you see that this accounts for both students' ability and also item difficulties. So okay, and this is the analysis criteria for the full analysis. And what I would include on all the psychometric properties are including the reliability, item reliability, also the item separations, and item fit, and also unidimensionality and different item function to see whether this works the same way in some different groups. So let's start with the first one, the item reliability. This item reliability sees or checks whether the difficulty of the question stays the same across different group or different students. So if you take a look at this, what we use to identify here is the one in the corner. So both yield 90.90 and 0.91, and this indicates that in general, the item difficulties were stable and it's generalizable to the groups or across the groups. And the second one is the item separations. We can also see the results of the item separations, and the criteria we use is the previous one we mentioned. If you see, all of the item separations are above 2. This could distinguish quite different levels of ability that spread across the items. And this also suggests that these generated tests covers enough variety. Of course, this is not good enough because it has to be more than 3 to be good for items. Okay, but this is enough. And this is also subjected to the numbers of participants have participated. The next one is the item fit. So if you take a look at the one right here, use this one. Okay, the criteria we use for item fit is 0.5 and 1.5. Between for the this one that is between 0.5 and 1.5 is considered fit. So those are considered item fit. But if you take a look at this items, so from item 38 up there until item 2, those are actually shows misfit items. It means that they may be unclear, confusing, or not perfectly aligned with the intended skills. Because item fit interprets whether the students, sorry, the items represents the right construct. And this is for reading. If you take a look at the listening one, so there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items that are also misfit, including item number 2, 22, 45, number 4, and number 9. These are misfits, but in general, most of the items are fit items. It means that it indicates the items generally measure the intended construct. And if you take a look at the this, I think it's pretty small because it's hard for me to fit the whole picture. The whole. If you take a look at the side on the left, these are representing students' ability. If you take a look at the one on the right, these are representing the items. So if you see, there are a lot of students that are actually high achiever. We take a look right here. So up here and also the one up here. Okay. This might be explainable because the school that have participated are also well known for their high achiever students, but maybe it's going to be different if we have more data. But this is what I can show you so far. And other than that, this is the unidimensionality. So dimensionality means if a test measure many things at once. Okay, so we want to see a test that measures what we want to measure. So we don't want to produce a test that measure other things. So if a test is not dimensional, it means there are extra unrelated skills there that are also being measured. So what we use here is this what is it called? This raw variance. It's right here. The raw variance have to be at least at 40%, but if you can see, the reading one is 38.8, and also the listening one is 34.8. So this shows that it's less. It means that there are other things, but in general, it's close to the 40%. Okay. So if you take a look at the listening one, it's a little bit smaller than the reading one. So this also shows that there's more slightly noise, means other things affecting the result of the test, not just the construct itself. And the last one is the different item functioning. This is useful to see if some question give advantages to a certain groups. But this different item function is only analyzed according to the gender. If you see, well, there's actually a more detailed explanations on the numbers, but I don't think it will fit on my slide. So that's why I use the figure instead of the numbers. But I have explained here, most of the items shows uh, no significant bias, but there are some certain items that actually favor the certain groups. For example, here, item number 6 that favored females in the reading sections, and then the item number 11 favored males um, in the listening one, and item number 16 favored females in listening. Okay, so these are the last one, I guess. In the end, I believe that this innovations and using AI or uh, yeah, using AI or utilizing AI to help teachers developing their tests, especially for receptive tests, where it's difficult for them to find more resources for the test. They would be really useful, according to the preliminary data that I have found. That it shows pretty much good results, and of course. Because there are some of the misfit and also some of the bias results of the test, or expert review, also pre-testing and quality control would be really good to produce more good quality tests. With that, I think I conclude my presentation. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, Hasnan, thank you very much. Wonderful presentation. I'm going to ask if anyone has any questions, just to type them into the chat. We've still got a couple more minutes before we need to close the session. Hasnan, we've got a question here from Curtis, is it?